What's up, YouTubers? It's your girl Trixie here. I'm coming to you today with some cheating in the raw realness. The topic today is obviously cheating because a lot of people have talked to me about it behind the scenes, and I don't know if I am qualified, but I do have some very, very good information to share with you all about cheating. From a single POV as well as a married POV, because I've experienced both sides. So I'm going to share what I know to be true and what I've heard from others and their experience. Now, I know you're probably thinking, well, is she just going to ramble on and on about the low lives? And in part, yes, and in part, no. The focus of it is not so much the cheating, but why the cheating occurs, and maybe trying to figure out solutions. Because ladies, I know you're tired of pulling out tissues and sobbing in the middle of the night and looking at your phone trying to see where he's at or trying to put the GPS on him. Don't do it. It's not worth it. So we're not going to prolong it. Let's dig right in with some of the serious questions that people pose in their minds about cheating. What is cheating? It depends on who you're asking, because some people define cheating as one who engages in an affair with another person. Some people deem cheating to be when you commit the act of sex outside of a monogamous relationship of any kind. Now, while both sides are respected, I think that cheating is something that involves infidelity, when people decide that they just want to do what the hell they want to do and they don't care about the feelings of the other person. Something that I find very interesting about cheating is everybody hates it, but most people partake in it in one way or the other. For instance, you can be walking down the street. A person you might find attractive, you can look at that person and you might desire that person. Now, would you call that cheating? While you might not, somebody else might say, heck yeah, that's cheating, Trixie, and I am not going for it. But the truth of the matter is, we cannot control other people. Who cheats more? A realistic question. Is it men? Is it women? Is it an equal between the two? I don't think so. In asking questions, most people say men are the winners of that title. They wear the crown very well. So, guys, good job at breaking women's hearts and making us sad and making us cry and go through the motions. Ladies, I'm here to empower you. Fellas, I'm here to kind of, help you understand why we think the way we think and why women end up cheating on you. Yeah, you. Guys, you got to know that women cheat too, right? Yeah, they cheat. So, first of all, let us touch on this. What I think is a reason that people cheat, it's not so much the act of sex. It's more primordial when it comes down to guys. First of all, guys are like cavemen. They're barbaric. And in their minds, they're automatically programmed to want to procreate. Now, what happens when a guy starts to gain an interest for someone else? His libido is peaked. We all have libido, and libido does not necessarily just mean that you have a hard one all the time, or ladies, that you're dripping wet. What libido is your love interest. Most of the times people don't actually fall in deep love, but they become in lust with the idea of love and what they could get from someone else based off of their physical appearance. So the physical is very important. Most of the times it's because of what they see. Men like to look at something good, and when they look at it, they lust for it and they want it. Now, I know, ladies, you're thinking, well, Trixie, it's not right. They shouldn't do it. Well, we shouldn't always cram Twinkies down our throats, but we do it at times. I mean, come on, let's be for real here. A lot of the times we want to go off on the guys. We want to, belittle them and say they're junk, they're trash. They're not trash, they're not junk, they're just being men. Most of the times there's a chemical released in the brain that kind of justifies it. Ooh, please don't get angry with me for saying it justifies it. But it kind of does. They become addicted to the feeling that comes when the levels of dopamine are released in their brain. It's addictive. And so it becomes easier for them to want to act on the act of sex with someone else based off of what they see from the natural. So, ladies, if your man is a man who likes women with big boobies and he's wandered off, don't blame him too much. I mean, he has a biological reasoning behind why he cheats. Now, on the flip side of things, men, I'm not going to forget you. We women will cheat. the reasoning behind why women cheat differs a little bit from men. It's sort of like the feeling that chocolate gives us. It's a comforting feeling. And most of the times women cheat based off of emotional reasons, what they're lacking, something you are not giving. If you're shortchanging them in one department, they're seeking it in another department. So instead of, thinking they're just being whores, why don't you look at yourself and see if you're possibly being all that she needs you to be? There's always a reason for why we do things. It's called cause and effect. So if you look at it and see it for what it is, maybe if you just hug her, rub her back a little bit, act like you like her sometimes. Never mind when she wants to talk to you on and on about stuff that you don't care too much about. Just listen, because these things can kind of help prevent the bad thing, cheating. Because if you cheat, there's a chance that that person who they cheat with can end up taking them from you. And I know people say, well, if they're mine, you can't take them. Technically, it is taking, because you wanted that person. However, this other person was meeting another need that they had, and so in turn that person ends up with your man or your woman, your husband or your wife, and nobody really wants to face it, but that's the sad reality of it all. Another thing is, when you consider cheating, you gotta make sure that you're doing your part. Nobody wants to feel like in a relationship it's a one-way thing. It's a two-way street. Come on, we both have to be accountable for our actions. Ladies, ease up off of the guy. Stop giving so much thought and concern to who he's with. What time will you be back? Where are you? Who got the GPS, dropping little detective devices in the cars? Where they do that at? This is the reason why men go the other direction. The side pieces make it easy for them. You know what they do? They try to do everything you're not doing with hopes that they'll be in your position. But if you play your position, he doesn't have to go that way. So in turn, the cheating problem is resolved and nobody ends up losing out. Side pieces are always waiting in the wings. What you're not willing to do, somebody is always willing to do. Men, what you say you don't do, there's a man who will do just what you said you don't do. So my point is this. If you don't want it to happen, you can't control another person, but you can control your own actions and your own behaviors. Stop justifying injustice and do your part. I know recently we've had a lot of talk going on about this love wins things. Well, if you want your relationship to have a love winning kind of feel, do your part. Stop worrying about the things that aren't really that important. Like, stuff that's just irrelevant. Personally, I find that when you let go and stop caring, that's typically when you get the best results, because you're not hawking them. And sometimes women, we become mothers instead of being the wives or the girlfriends or whatever part we're playing. You don't ever want to be the mom, because the mom is not what they're attracted to. They want the woman who is different from the mom but has some of the likenesses of the mom. Sexy, not mommy. Okay? Try to lock it up there. How can you stop somebody else from cheating? You can't. Some people say, oh, Trixie, there are people who are serial cheaters. Well, put it like this. If you don't want to be cheated on, you don't want to risk being hurt, you don't want to risk going through the pains of, oh, he cheated on me, whoo, hoo, hoo, and playing yourself a pity party on the world's smallest violin, then here's what you do. Stop dating. Don't entertain the idea of being with someone, because it's the truth. The possibility that somebody else may capture your partner's interest is high. The likelihood of it is very high. But what you do to maintain your relationship is the key. And if you focus so much on always thinking that you can control a cheater by knowing where they're at every hour of the day, you're dead wrong. And let me tell you, that is like the biggest mistake you can make. Because number one, it doesn't matter what you think you see. Your eyes only tell half of the story. What you see is not always as easy to believe as what really is, because sometimes you're just not getting everything. And the truth of the matter is, some guys are really that good. They can cover their tracks so good that you won't even know they're cheating unless they tell you they're cheating, or somehow one woman meets you and then she shares it with you. Guys, what you're doing is this. You can not treat your woman a certain way, give her all kinds of emotional scarring, make her vulnerable, make her weak, and make her more susceptible to the next man who'll come along and say, hey boo, you looking good. I see you working hard. You do your thing. I like that. A few words of kindness go a long way with a woman, and I will have plenty of women who would agree with me and say, yeah, Trixie, tell it, girl. He don't be telling me I look good. It's very important to remind your partner of what you like about them. These things help prevent the person from cheating. Granted, if it's something they desire to do, they will do it. But if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. Don't stay with them. If that's a problem for you, get out of the relationship. Don't feel like you're obligated to anything, because you're not. If you don't want to be there, don't be there. Don't feel the pressure of society and what they think. Get out of it. Move on and be happy. That's what it's all about. Being happy and enjoying your life. You can't control another person. So when it comes down to cheating, I say respect each other's boundaries, give each other space, and continue to let your relationship grow. Most of the times people will try to suffocate it by putting too much into it or overcompensating for things that they're lacking, and that can push people away. You don't want to push people away. The reason why wives get angry with the mistresses is because they feel like the mistresses are taking something. Women, we need to step our game up. Most of the times we get angry with the side pieces or the mistresses because we feel like they're giving him something that we can't, and we very well may be correct. You might be right. You might have stopped giving your man that extra confidence to build him up. You have to put your man on a pedestal. If not, the next person will. You have to make him feel good about who he is. If not, the next person will. You have to highlight all of his qualities. If not, the next person will. How easy is it for you to pay a compliment? It's not that hard to do. Instead of cursing him out about not taking out the trash, why don't you say, honey, you know, I really like how you take that trash out for me. I appreciate that, baby. And I know you forgot to do it today, so I did it for you. But the next time the trash day rolls around, we can do it together. Something like that. Just soften it up a bit. Don't always be so, nobody don't want to hear that. Meanwhile, you got the side pieces who will be sitting in the bleachers somewhere waiting for your man, talking about, baby, I got dinner for you. What time you coming to get the food, baby? Oh, don't worry about nothing. You want me? I'll take your shoes off, whatever you need, daddy. They will do it. And your man will eat out the palm of their hands. You don't want that. Guys, your lady will be lapping in the lap of another man if you're not attending to her needs as a woman. Women like to be held. You're not a person who's touchy-feely. So what? Get out of what you like and get focused more so on what she needs. She needs to feel that context. She needs to know that you still find her beautiful. We live in a world where there are so many beautiful people around, so many people in existence who have so many different things to offer. Men, come on, y'all know y'all be seeing some fine women out here. And when you see those women, some of you have a lot of self-respect. You just look and you keep it moving. But then there are some brothers who was like, well, I'm going to try it. Even though you have a girl at home, she might not be all that you want her to be. But just remember the reasons why you're with this woman. Like, what got you with her? Remember those things, focus on those things, and give her what she needs. If a woman tells you, you know, babe, I just need to hug you, or I just want a kiss, I'm feeling down, act like you care, even if you don't, because if you don't, the next man who notices her vulnerable spots is going to play on those, and guess what? He got your woman. Boom. Simple as that. Trixie, girl, you telling it, and I'm going to keep telling it because it's very important that people understand this. Cheating only happens when we as individuals do not take accountability for our own actions. While we want to blame the other party, it has to do with what we're not doing. So instead of not doing the things that your partner asks of you, do it. Try it. See how it works for you. Don't knock it until you try it is a saying that people have, and I agree. Well, people, I'm not going to babble too much about it. Just wanted to kind of shed some light. I will be coming to you more with some relationship stuff just to try to help people out, because at the end of the day, everybody wants to feel love. Everybody wants to know what love is. Everybody wants to experience love. And a lot of people have questions surrounding cheating. And we women rack our brains trying to figure out, what in the world is John cheating on me? Girl, get your damn face out of your hands, the tears out your eyes, and see what it is you're not doing that's causing John to cheat. Maybe you're not showing John the affection he needs. Maybe you're not making him feel masculine. Some women emasculate men. Big no-no. A man is a man, always will be. Respect your man, treat your man with care and concern, and watch how your man will reward you. Now, if you get a deadbeat, got to go. Don't be afraid to let go. That's a big thing, letting go. But that's a whole nother video. Until later next time, Trixie's gone. Our cereal treaters, oh God, cereal trick-or-treaters.
Trick-or-treaters.
Trixie, there are people who are